You are live.
Morning. I am co-chair Sandy Bartlett, and welcome to the ethics meeting, along with all the members and my co-chair, Senator Sidnor.
Morning.
Good morning, yes. And so we're going to go ahead and start with our agenda. The first item on our agenda is to, we have a quorum. We will go ahead and review the disclosures and disclaimers.
So if you look in your packet, we have your standard disclosures and disclaimers, Senate members, House members. Then you will see there's one that's filed by a former member. Delegate Darrell Barnes had filed some statements before he left the General Assembly. There's nothing in the packet that jumps out at me, but I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
I have one question, if you wouldn't mind. Some of the ethics forms are a little bit vague as far as what the name of the company is or that kind of thing. Does it need to be any more specific than that or not?
I think it depends on what the disclaimer is. For example, if someone, let's say I'm an attorney, hey, there could be an appearance of a conflict with the practice of law because I'm a practicing attorney. I practice in, I do personal injury and criminal defense. That seems sufficient. On the other hand, if it's more of a situation where, we could have specific issues relating to that employer come before the General Assembly, it might be helpful to name that name. So we could certainly ask any member to put the name of their employer.
One here it lists marketing. I'm employed by a company that provides marketing services. Mm-hmm. Does it need to be any more specific than that? That's my question.
If you look on the next page, the senator, I'm sorry, my dog is visiting. The senator disclosed the name of the firm there, but if we wanted to ask him to disclose it on the D, we could.
Okay. All right. That's okay then.
Delegate McComas.
Thank you, Senator Sidnor. I'm curious how this works. Some of our members work for municipalities or maybe even some state agencies, and basically not knowing how long they've been, because some of them are very new to me, but that doesn't mean necessarily, because I haven't gotten everybody square yet, their names and faces and what committees, but do they, in other words, if it's on a particular issue, that they, let's say for a particular county that they represent or a municipality that they represent, that they have a employment relationship with, do they usually just go ahead and say, I abstain because of the apparent conflict, the apparent appearance of a conflict of interest, and they kind of recuse themselves? They don't comment on it, in their, let's say, their delegations or whatever, and they're quiet. Because basically, I kind of thought that there's some blending, even though it looks like there wasn't a problem with it. It just seems like it's, well, in other words, there needs to be firewalls, but maybe I'm wrong. So I just bring that up.
So the committee has actually addressed that issue. So when we have a legislator who has government employment, where, let's say I have private employment, let's say that I work for Johns Hopkins. Could I vote on a bill that's going to give $1 million to Johns Hopkins? No. On the other hand, for those legislators who work for a government entity, we're going to look to see, is the bill making substantive administrative changes to the agency to the government employer. And the committee's thought process was, especially with some of the rural counties, they may have only a single resident senator, resident delegate. And if we were to say, for example, that the delegate who represents Caroline County could not participate in any legislative action involving Caroline County, that disenfranchises his constituents. So we are going to look a little bit deeper at what is the change being made. Is the bill setting the legislator's salary, setting their boss's salary? Is the bill, let's say we are taking, I don't know, let's say we're going to take Morgan State and make it part of the university system. Well, that's a substantive administrative change. So we might say there, hey, if you work for Morgan, you shouldn't vote on that bill. But the fact that there is a line item in the budget that would provide funds for Morgan doesn't require the legislator to recuse themselves. I will tell you that that's something that for those members who are government employees, I have long conversations with them, and we really work to, they keep me on speed dial when those types of things come up.
I can concur with that. Being a government employee.
Delegate McComas, does that take care of your question?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Are there any other questions regarding the review of the disclosure and the disclaimers?
See none. So if we want to move to the next agenda item, which is a discussion of a matter.
Mr. Coach, Mr. Chair, you went, yeah, there you go.
I just so with no questions, we're going to move to the next agenda item for a discussion on a matter that's required to be kept confidential under section 5-517 of the general provisions. So with that, move that we go into executive closed session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.